Hi, good morning. Welcome back to Mike Makes It. We're looking today at a Mitre saw. It's the Evolution 255. I've done previous videos on it, unboxing, testing, etc. And up to this point, it's worked really well. And I'm getting a good life out of the blades as well, so I'm fairly happy with that. The only problem I've got with it at the moment, the rotary turntable is binding up. You can see it will move. Very graunchy though. So obviously I don't want to leave it like that. So today we're going to strip it down a little bit, see what the problem is. I think basically it's got sawdust and metal grit stuck underneath the turntable where it slides. As far as I'm aware on this, there's no bearings, it's literally aluminium on aluminium. So we'll strip it out, make sure there's nothing major going on with it. A little bit of lubrication, put it back together, and I'm sure we'll be fine from there onwards. So yeah, let's strip it down. We've got the motor and the cutter unit off, as you can see. What you do need to do to remove that, there's a 17mm nut. That's all that holds it on basically. 3 washers, there's a spring or crinkle washer in between 2 plain washers, then you have the nut. But what I found you have to do is push the bolt up into the unit itself, not all the way, just enough to clear the metalwork here, then tip the saw towards you, because there's the locking mechanism here fouls, you can't lift the head straight up and off. So yeah, push the bolt in, tip the unit towards you, and this locking piece actually clears then, and you can take the head assembly off. There is a lot of grit. Let me zoom in here, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There's some scratching going on the paint as well, so more likely some aluminium's got in here and started to chew it up. So what I'll do, I'll get the airline on, clean all the debris away. And I've got some silicone spray in a can. I found that very good, so I'm going to spray some of that on. It's a dry lubricant, it's not going to stay wet, so the sawdust and other debris isn't going to stick to it. So that's what we'll do now. Airline silicone spray. Yeah, this edge, all the way around, is what rests on the base of the saw here. So the two actually touch, there's obviously contact made there. But on this area here, there's about 6 inches, got quite a groove in it. Let's see if we can get in a little bit closer. See that? That was probably causing the problem. Probably a little bit of metal got stuck under that, and that was what was causing the graunching. Everywhere else looks fairly clean, and where the grease was, the factory installed grease if you like, no sawdust debris in there at all, so that's quite good. So yeah, I reckon just that was causing the problem. When I put the saw to bed, so to speak, after I finish using it, I always get the airline on it to try to blow out the debris to stop it actually getting down here. But it's had a fair bit of use, so I don't know, probably had it 2 years, and it's the first time I've had to do this. So yeah, well, I'll get it back together now, and we'll see how well it moves. I put the saw together and it was still picking up aluminium on aluminium. So yeah, disassembly once more. So I'm going to go over both the mating surfaces with this very fine oil stone, as you can see what I'm doing now. Drop of oil on it, trying to keep it as flat as I can on the ring there. And it is fetching out the imperfections and the dodgy aluminium quite well. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to that. It looked good. Well, I used a little bit of emery cloth. It seemed quite good, but clearly not the case. You can still feel it picking up some of the chunks of aluminium. So Not ideal surface, but obviously it's made down to a price, if you like, but this should bring it back. So a little bit more time on this side, then we'll go over to that unit there. I'll put it all back together, and if that's good, I'll bring it back. Well, I've got the head back on there now, and against my better judgment, I have put a smear of grease between the two mating plates. Even though I stoned it down, the second time I put it back together, it still was picking up the aluminium. So I stoned it down again, cleaned it, little dab of grease all the way around, and I don't know if you can hear this. It's as smooth as butter now. So hopefully that grease isn't going to pick up too much sawdust. Time will tell. As I say, I've not had the problem up until now, so whether I've introduced a problem with the grease, we'll see. But at least I can swing that around without any grinding noises and aluminium biting onto itself. So I'm going to put that back together fully. Got this to put back on. I've shown you an earlier video how to set that up, so I'll link you to that. But yeah, that's another fix done on the Evolution, but very, very good saw. Thoroughly recommend it, including the stand. It just sits in one side of the garage. It cuts through anything I put under the blade effectively. I don't use bread. Bread's not very good, but wood and metal, excellent. Aluminium just slices through really, really well. But anyway, thanks for watching Mike Makes It. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. If you do, thumbs up would be great.